No. Actually, surprisingly, they were not. I'll tell you a quick story about that. Actually, is my I think it was my great uncle. It was either my great uncle or my great grandfather. No, I think it was my great uncle. Yeah, because the story is my grandfather, who is my great grandfather, who is my grandmother's father, and like his brother, they both served in the German Federal Army during World War One. And so they both, were in the actual Federal Army when Kaiser Wilhelm was the leader of the country. And
as commissioned officers?
I don't know. I think one of them might have been a commissioned officer. One of them was.
Well, you
for
said
sure,
aristocracy, so I'm just assuming.
I would assume they might have been a commissioned officer. I think one of them was a judge advocate, and one of them was in the infantry, I believe. But the judge advocate, the story that I've been told, and again, a lot of this is speculative because I've never met any of that side of my family, and we've never been in contact with them ever since my grandmother emigrated to the United States. That whole side of the family got cut off. I've probably got relatives over there I don't know exist, and they probably don't know I exist. So that's kind of an unfortunate circumstance. It's as a result, a side effect of war. Families get split up and you lose contact with people. But the story I was told when I was younger was that apparently Hitler personally asked, I think, my great grand uncle to be a military tribunal judge. And the story I was told was that he turned him down, and because he didn't want to be associated with the Nazi Socialist Party. He turned him down, and the story goes that he eventually received orders, down the road sometime in the future, maybe a short time in the future, to travel to a certain location, and he ended up driving through a minefield and blowing up. Yeah, that's the story that they told me. I don't know how. Again, this is like stuff that's been passed down from generation to generation, so I don't know.
That was so out of left field.
I know. Wow. But
why did he drive into a minefield?
Well, because
was it like, hey,
I think they told him to go drive somewhere, and it just happened to be that a minefield was in his path because he said no to Hitler.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like for example, my great grandmother refused to allow her children to be part of the Hitler Youth because they didn't want them participating in any of that. They didn't want to be a part of that. A lot of German citizens didn't want to be a part of that stuff, but they just didn't talk to anybody about it. They had to be quiet because, like, obviously if you were open about not being for the party, you would get taken away by the brown shirts or whatever. So they just were like, no, you're not going to do that stuff. And then most of the family, if they were in the federal military at one point, they were like, we're not, we don't want anything to do with like the regime.